And now for something completely different. Hola comrades, I've dipped my toe into diorama building with my last video. Now I'm diving balls deep with a crashed P-47 on D-Day. This Thunderbolt will have been shot down right next to a German pillbox somewhere along the Normandy coast. Not much to say here that hasn't already been said about other great Tamiya offerings. Mini art might be better though. So many invasion decals that won't be used. That checkerboard design will be painted on, and I'm not looking forward to it. As for the stars of this scene, I'll only be using This American Pilot by ICM. Alongside some of these German infantrymen. And some pipes and tank barriers for good measure. So sit back and let YouTube's Kitfluencer take you back to June 6, 1944. As per usual, I'll be adding some lead wire details throughout the build, starting with the engine. First, I'm cutting small styrene tubes for the ignition wires to slot into. Then I glue the 0.1mm wires into each cylinder and move along. To keep the video short, I already added the cockpit wires. I'm intending to add bullet holes in the fuselage later, so in case the inner skeleton is visible through it, I'm adding some structural framing inside. Those holes could have been a little bigger, but I didn't have a big enough drill bit at the time. This kit gives you many options for ordnance, but I'll only be adding the bomb pylons here. I don't care if everything under the belly won't be seen, I must add more wires. The cowl flaps will open, thus I want to display the supercharged air pipe. This will require some fire. But never hold plastic too close or too long, it'll just char it and melt. Only one gear leg will be down, and I want that tire to look deflated and popped open. To make some of the cowl flaps damaged, I simply cut the sides open and bent them forward. You know the drill. Paint this weird US cockpit color on the canopy underneath your main color. Then I prime everything with my favorite concoction and yours, Mr. Finishing Surfacer and Leveling Thinner. And for the metal bits, some GX2 gloss black. You know what? I'm sick of marbling with an airbrush. I'm stippling it on with a brush this time. The paint just looked splotchy here cause my nozzle had a crack in it. It fits now. After hand painting the cockpit details, I finish it off with some gray dry brushing alongside the raised surfaces. I like fire. Damn it.
12 seconds later.
Moving on. check out that leg room. It must have felt so luxurious flying a P-47, minus the Axis pilots trying to kill you. There are only two things on Earth that fix everything: duct tape and Tamiya extra thin. Because of those wires I installed earlier, I had to alternatively attach only the wing's top halves to access the wires later. What can I say? I'm a rebel. Now, as I construct the engine, why don't you give the video a like and subscribe? Not that I care or anything, it's just a kind gesture. Gracias. I'm not bothering explaining my polishing process. I've got 2 videos that already explain it. No bare metal aircraft will completely look uniform. I recommend using different shades of metal on a few panels here and there for a more realistic finish. I found that adding a little tire black to N41 olive drab gives it a darker look. painting a checkerboard pattern will require precise measuring, which I'm sure I'll get wrong anyway, whatever. It might seem confusing, but I'm only painting the first layer of black. Once the tape comes off, you'll see. There's only black squares currently. Now I need to mask along each row of checkers to fill in the blanks. Holy sh**, I actually did it. I was running short on time, so I just decided to use decals instead of painting the roundels. I spent all that time building this bird up nicely. Now it's time to start wrecking it. Being such a tough SOB, this P-47 will have needed several direct hits to be grounded. Feel free to debate in the comments which Luftwaffe fighter you think did it in. To make the blown off wingtip look busier, I'm adding some exposed framework with strips of styrene. And we're back. As you can see, I'm now painting smoke streaks along the bullet holes. Watch it, they're hot. And with that, we are done. Thanks for watching. Bye! Just kidding, we're not done. Now with the Thunderbolt done, we can move on to the actual diorama, starting with this big block of foam. This is my first time using a hot wire cutter. It's so wicked, dude. I feel like, I'm floating, man. Okay, with the terrain mapped out and my body sobered up, I'll start piling up some sand around the areas where the tires and wings dug in. Overexposed? What are you talking about? My fly's zipped up. Mr. Finishing Surfacer would dissolve foam, so I need to use this acrylic foam primer by the Army Painter. Time to spread that coarse, irritating stuff all over this base. I thought sprinkling some of this decorative sand on the paint while it's wet would give my sand a more realistic texture. The grassy hill where the pillbox is sitting is going to require some tuft love. I got this Ammo by Meg concrete texture paint, but I regret using it. It's way too chunky for this scale. Okay, why don't we take a break from the scenery and start working on accessories. Smoke if you got 'em. The accessories kit comes with parts for 8 tank obstacles, but 2 is good enough for me. And now on to the stars. This diva here received a spritz of white paint to accentuate his highlights before painting his US AAF pilot uniform with IDF sand. You know he needs to look good for his close-up. And the antagonist's Wehrmacht uniforms will be painted in IDF green. See the irony here? That pilot's not out of scale, he's just very tall. No, he's not a Tuskegee Airman. That Vallejo chocolate brown is just the shadow coat for flat flesh to go on top of. And just for some personality, I'm giving him a little mustache. Places, everyone. Oh, and for no reason, I made a little stick grenade box to be hidden away in the bunker. Just a little light gray paint to weather it out. Another first for me, making barbed wire. Tamiya's instructions say to first take 3 strands of wire and wind them all up together. Next, you tie knots about every 6 to 10 millimeters. Lastly, you carefully snip one strand from each barb, and you've got flesh-ripping strands of goodness. Seeing as the starboard flap is scraping across the beach, I made debris from spare plastic, sprayed them different colors, and spread them out. And as the thespians start blocking the scene, I can finally say that's a wrap on this year-long project. I apologize for the long delay, but sometimes life gets in the way, you know. This was my first legitimate diorama, and I'm hoping to do some more exciting scenes. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and until the next one, adios.